Yes, we talked about Git in our previous class, and today we are not going to much focus on the installation. We're not going to talk about the installation of Git because that has been treated in our first video on Git. So if you want to get to that, there will be a link in the description. What is Git? Git is a version control system that records changes to a file or a set of files so that you can record specific versions later. So the next question is, how do we start a Git repository? There are two major ways you can start a Git repository. It's either you take a local directory that is currently not under version control and turn it into a Git repository, or you clone an existing Git repository from elsewhere, like GitHub. It's either you go to your system and you have file that you're working on already and you convert it to become a Git repository, or you clone from an existing Git repository. That's how you start a Git repository. What is a working directory? A working directory is a folder in your computer where Git has been initialized using the command git init. A folder is referred to as a working directory when it has been initialized. How can a folder that wants to be converted to a Git repository, how can it be initialized? It can be initialized by using the command git init. You type it into your terminal. How do you convert a folder into a working directory? You simply type into the command, into the terminal, git init. What are the contents of a working directory? The content of a working directory, once you type in your command line, your terminal, git init, you've converted that directory into a working directory. Now, what are the contents of a working directory? A content of a working directory is one, the Git directory. This Git directory is a hidden directory which is responsible for tracking changes in the working directory. We have untracked files. Untracked files are files that you don't want Git to monitor the changes that will happen on it. You don't want that file to be pushed to your repository. That files are files like node modules files, log files, or files that you don't really want it to go up. Then what are tracked files? Tracked files are files inside your working directory that you want Git to monitor every changes that is made to that file. States of files in a working directory. You have the tracked files and the untracked files. What are the tracked files? Tracked files are the files that you want Git to monitor changes that are going on within them. What are untracked files? Untracked files are files that you don't want Git to monitor the changes that goes in within them. Now let's talk about the states in tracked file. This is very, very important because when you open your working terminal, and you're typing your command like git init, git status, git log, when you git add, these are different states you're going to be finding when you're going to be using the command git add, git commit, git status. For instance, one of the changes you have is changes not staged for commit. What does this mean? When you see a word change is not staged for commit, change is not meant for commit means it's a file that has not been staged. What do you mean by a file is not staged? A file is not staged. When do you mean by a file is not staged? What is a stage file? That will be the first question. A stage file is a file that is added, that has been added, that git init, that git add has been added. It has been added for it to be committed. The next one you have is changes to be committed. Changes to be committed is a file that has already been staged but are waiting to be committed, that are waiting for you to run git init, git commit. What is modified? A modified file is a file that has been committed previously, but later it was edited and now it awaits to be restaged to enable the latest edit to be ready for commit. New file. New file is a file that has been committed but has been staged. New file, I mean to say, is a file that has never been committed but has been staged. We'll get to that when we get to the terminal. What are untracked files? What can we categorize as untracked file? It's any file that is not tracked. Untracked file is a file that you are not using in the stage area, that is not on your staging area. What are untracked files? Untracked files are files that are not in your last snapshot. What is a snapshot? A snapshot is when you run git commit. A snapshot is when you run git commit. What an untracked file? An untracked file is a file that Git does not know. An untracked file is a file that is inside the .gitignore folder. These are untracked files. How do we find out the state of a file? We can find the state of a file in a working directory by typing the command git status. It will show us the state of untracked file. Now let's head on to the terminal for some practice. We simply go, in this demonstration I'm going to be using Visual Studio Code. Why do I prefer Visual Studio Code? Visual Studio Code is an editor that comes with an internal terminal. It has an internal terminal inside. So let me just close it and show us how to this is a simple project that I worked on. It's just a simple project, just a contact form that has an index.html and a few style. This is just a few styling, just basic styling. So let's just look at what this contact form looks like. Let's look at what it comes out. Let's view it with live server. This is what it looks like. This is what the contact form looks like. We can put in details. It's a contact form for taking in customer details. So let's head back to my Visual Code. Now, looking at this file, looking at the left hand corner, you can see this is a contact form. This is a contact form 2. You see index.html and CSS. This file has not been initialized. What do I say? How do you get a git rep? How do you get a working directory? A working directory is by going to your system, your local system, in your computer, and converting that working directory into by typing git init to convert it into a working directory. For now, this is not a working directory. This is just a file, a local file in my system. So now, how do I make Git to know to make this a working directory? Simply, I open up my terminal. I go to new terminal. When I go to new terminal, I type the command git init. If I type this git init and I press enter, I will have turned this file, this folder, into a working directory. So let's just go. I just go type of git init and I press enter. You see, what is it saying? It's saying initialized empty git repository in, means that this by me typing this git init. Let me take this in off. Let me increase the size of so that we can see clearly. So by me typing the git init, I have initialized this into a git repository. So this is how I'm initialized. And if you look at the left hand corner, you see U. Let me hover my mouse on this U. Let's see what it's saying. Let's see what it says. Let's hover our mouse. What did it say? It's saying index.html untracked. Index.html untracked. Now let's go index.html untracked, styles.css untracked. Now let's use this thing git status to check the status of this file. What is it saying? On branch, look at it. On branch, it's saying on branch, on master, on branch master. No commit. There is no commit. There's no commit. On tracked files, we have what we call on tracked file. What do I say is an untracked file? Untracked file is a file that has not been staged to be committed. What does it mean to be staged? Now, what are my untracked files? I have index.html is one of untracked files. Style.css is one of untracked files. You see, nothing to commit, nothing added to commit, but untracked files present. So use git add to track. So let's go ahead. They say you should use git add to track. So I want to track file, git add. I want to track index.html. Index.html. I want to track index.html. I want to stage index.html. I click on enter. Let's run the command again. Let's run the command again. Git status. Let's run the command again. Git status. What is this command saying? 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 It's simply saying, let me clear this terminal so that we will not have so much to deal with, so we can see clearly. So let me run git status again. Let's know the status of our this thing. So this is git status. What you say? On branch master, no commit yet. No commit yet. Changes to be committed. Changes to be committed. I see. Changes to be committed. You have new file. There's a new file. It's index.html. This is changes to be committed. You see on that branch, untracked files. You can see different status. You have changes to be committed, and you have untracked files. When you see these untracked files, you are seeing style.css in red. It's color coded in red. It means that this style.css have not told Git to follow the changes that is made on this file. That's what it means. So I have now changes to be committed. What does it mean by changes to committed? It means that I have staged this file, but I have not saved it. I've not put it to be I've not put it so that I can commit it. I've not saved a snapshot of it yet. I have staged this index.html file has been staged, but the snapshot has not been saved. So how do we save a snapshot? We save a snapshot of this index.html by running the command git commit. Okay, let's go ahead. Let me run git commit. I will put a simple description. That's how listen. Save index.html. Put in double in quotes. I enter. I click on enter. You see, what is it saying here? Let's look at master. Look at this line. Master root commit. Saved index.html. One file change. 101 insertions. Create mode. 104 index.html. This is the hash value that is used to store the information, the contents of the file. Let's clear this terminal so that we can see what we are doing clearly. Now, let me say git status. You see, git status on, we are saying on master branch. See, untracked files. Untracked file. You see, we still have untracked files. Style.css is an untracked file. We've not staged it. We've not run git add. So it's an untracked file. nothing added to commit but untracked files present. It says now tell us that we have this style.css and untracked files. So this is it. So now let's just go ahead and commit this file. Oh, let's do some edits. Let's do some edits on index.html so that we can see something. Let's just simply do an edit on this thing. How can we help you? Let me just say, how can we help you, customer? How can we help you, customer? Let me save it. I've made an edit on the index.html. You see M has appeared. It has shown M, it means modified. It has been modified. Let's go and see it on last server. Let's see the edit that we did. How can we help you, customer? These are the edit I just made on this file now. Let's to this thing. Let me clear my console so that we can see this thing scaled. Let me run git status. Git status on branch master. Change is not staged for commit. This is one heading. Change is not staged for commit. You see, change is not staged for commit. You now have modified index.html. Do you understand? I edited the index.html. So now Git is tracking this file and it's saying that I have modified content that has not been staged for commit. What do you mean by stage to commit? Stage to commit means that I have not run git add to present it to Git to now be for it to be ready to be committed. Okay. The next heading we are having here is untracked file. Remember, my style.css, I have not added it for it to be tracked. I have not run git add style.css. I follow. So now, initially I have committed the index.html, but I now made an edit. Now, since I made an edit, it's now showing me the file has been modified. Now, this file that has been modified, the edits I have made on that file, I need to restage it. How do I restage it? I need to run git.add. I need to run git.add to add that edit I've made. You see this cursor here. You see this in block here, this in here. This one is showing where the edit was made. It could be a large file. It's showing where the edit was made. So it means that this thing has been modified. This M is showing that it has been modified. It has modified. And it's showing here that it has been modified. So let's go ahead. Let me go ahead. Clear this console. And now let's say I stage that file. I run git status. I run git add index.html. I click on enter. Let me run git status again. You see, on branch master, I'm on master branch, changes to be committed. You have modified index.html. Yes, I modified index.html. Yes, modified index.html. Now you see, changes to be committed. This heading has changed. Changes to be committed. It's now changes to be committed. Now modified index.html. Now let me commit. It means that this file is ready to be committed straight away. So now let me commit this index.html. Let me commit this index.html. Commit git commit with a flag. Let me just put added comment on H2. Added comment on H2. You see? So now what is it saying? Added comment on H2. That's the comment I made. One file change. Now let's go and see. Git. Let's run git status. you see git status on branch master on track file, you see what we have now is just on track files. It's still showing us that this file is on track. Style.css is still on track. This style.css is still on track. It means that it has not been staged. It means it has not run git add style.css to stage this file that will lead it to be committed. So this is it. So one of the major keys we need to take note of is git command that we need to take note of is git init, git add, git commit, and git status. These 4 commands are commands that we're going to be using every now and then. And finally, git log. Let's look at git log and let's check out all this thing we have done so far. All the commits we've done so far. Look at it now. You see, commit. The earliest commit will be shown first. This is the hash value of the earliest commit. This is a 40 character. This is the hash value of the first commit. You see the author, Iwarini. You see the date of the commit. Added comment on H2. This is the earliest. This is the latest commit I made. The second commit is, this is the hash value of the second commit I made. The same by me. Date. Then what did I say? The second commit was saved index.html. You see, this git log command shows you all the history of all the commits that have been made. So now let's just go ahead. Let's just go ahead and let's say git status. You see, git status. What you just have on the master branch is on tracked files. You see it? It's on tracked files. That's what we have. And the on tracked file name is style.css. Nothing to add to commit, but on track file present. You see. So let me just go ahead and just add the style.css dot add style.css. I've added the style.css. Let me check status. Now, you see, on master, changes to be committed. New file, changes to be committed. You see, so now this file, this style.css has been staged. Now it's awaiting for us to commit it. Are we following? So now let's just go ahead and commit this file. Git commit. You have a flag, save style.css. See, I press on enter. You see, master save style.css. One file change, create mode. So let me clear so that I will have space to let me run git status. Git status is the command we use in knowing the status of our files. So on branch master, nothing to commit. Working tree clean. You see, I'm on the branch master. It's showing nothing to commit. Working tree clean. It means this file, this entire file has been tracked. This entire file has been committed. Now let's just simply run. I'm using clear to clear the console so that I will see. So I will see this thing. Let me run git.log. Git log. You see, what did I say git log does? Git log shows you all the commits we've made. It shows you all the commits, and it starts from the latest. You see, commits. This is the hash value. It's a 40 character hash code that is used. You see the author. You see the date. Save style.css. That's my last commit. You see the second commit. This is the second commit. This is the second commit. Author, date, added comment on H2 tag. We are aware. This is the third commit, the hash value. This is the third commit. This is the hash value. The author, the date. It says saved index.html. So we can see that Git keep track of our files, any changes we're going to make on our file, so that we can recall the changes in in a later time in the future. Maybe we want to do an edit, we want to go back to a previous version that we prefer instead of what. So let me just assume, let me create a file here. Let me just create a simple something. Let me just create a simple file. Let me just create a simple file, text.txt. Let me just try lorem. Let me just write some random stuff on this thing and save it. So now let's run git init, git status again on this file. You see on branch, on tracked file. You see what we are seeing is on tracked file. You see it on tracked file. We have text.txt. This file has not been tracked. That's what it's just telling us. I just added a file. It's now telling me that this file has not been tracked. Means it has not been staged. Not to talk of being committed. It has not been staged. So this is it. So you see, you can see this U that is hovering here. It's showing that it's on track. It means that Git is not monitoring this particular file I just added now. That's what it means. So Git has no business with this file. Except, how do I stage this file? I tell Git I run a command of git add. That's how I will stage this file. Then I subsequently go further to say git commit, and now commit this file. But this is not what I want to do. I hope this is not what I want to do. I hope that with this class we can now get a hang of what this is all about. So let me quickly run back to my lesson. So this is what we need to take note of. It change is not staged for commit. It's a file that has not been staged. Changes to be committed. This is a file that has been staged but awaiting to be committed. Modified is a file that has been committed previously, but later it was edited and now it awaits to be restaged to enable the latest edit to be ready for commit. New file, we saw this, is a file that has never been committed but has been staged. Okay, this is this for this tutorial. Let me know if you have more this in comments. I hope we are able to get what we able to understand. In the next tutorial, we'll get into another topic if we all follow with this one.